quarterback change, and we'll see what that looks like coming out of the bye week for Lincoln Riley and company as well. As this one winds to a close. There's Glenn back in there. He put that one on the money. This is what Florida State does more than just about anybody in the country. They drop a lot of passes. Came in with 26 drops, most by any team in a power conference.
Now, watching this real quick at the end of the Florida State game.
He's already got separation on the defender. He may be still running.
So, Adam, what do you think? It's not the greatest,
down.
Notre Dame, after this win, I think the next test for Notre Dame is going to be against Army in Yankee Stadium. Army won today thanks to the return of quarterback Bryson Daly. Had 2 touchdowns in the game and a win against North Texas. So I think Army Notre Dame has
it might be college game day.
It's going to be an interesting game at Yankee Stadium in a couple weeks.
Yeah, probably be college game day might be there at Yankee Stadium because you might have a top 25 matchup there.
Yeah, it's and obviously, we can say this. Georgia Tech has won the ACC Florida Cup, folks.
Exactly.
They beat Florida State over in Dublin, Ireland to start the year. But if you didn't already know, hiding under a rock, Georgia Tech at home.
Adam, let me do some play-by-play here. It's wow. That was a first down for Florida State with 2:20 left here in the fourth quarter. 45-3 Notre Dame. Looks like Notre Dame will be now. They're going to a game break.
Up there.
Yep, that guy ran again. Another touchdown for
Ashton.
I think he's the Heisman guy, dude. I think he's the Heisman Trophy winner.
Yeah.
Because I think with Cam Ward losing to Georgia Tech today, I don't think that will solidify his chances of the Heisman.
Yeah, it's called. I think this is Ashton Genty's to lose. And a lot of people have compared him, Chris, to him. Barry Sanders was in college when he was at Oklahoma State, and he had that, spectacular season.
Danielle is actually in the bullpen, so let me bring her in here.
Yeah,
Hi, Danielle, we're watching the end of the massacre at South Bend right now.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
The ad blocker that actually works on
It's
Twitter,
crazy.
AKA
Yeah. So what is your take? What's your take on this game tonight? Yeah, the same thing as last week. Using 2 quarterbacks. I think they need to stop doing that.
If you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm good there.
Let me pull this volume down here. I don't want to hear this guy talking. Go ahead.
Okay. Am I back?
Yes, you're on.
Okay, I'm on. All right. Yay. I don't know what to say. I really don't. I don't know what to say. I'll start with this. I don't think anybody expected to beat Notre Dame. I mean, some obviously diehard fans did. We travel well. They're up there. They're, at the game. But at the same time, we expected to see at least some improvements over the things we're complaining about.
Right.
And it's regressing. It's not progressing. It's getting worse.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't there at this game because I was going to get a media pass for this game, and my buddy Matt and I were going to travel to this. And I was out there was it before the pandemic, 2018, with Taggart was a coach, and that was a massacre. And my brother Will texted me because he's a Miami guy. He goes, "So, are you enjoying that massacre?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can't go anywhere right now. I'm sitting here in the press box watching this horror show in front of me." He goes, "How are you feeling?" I'm like, "I'm not feeling great, dude." So I'm getting in the car on the way back. My buddy Matt is the Irish fan, and he goes, who comes on the show once in a while, on Mondays, and he's playing the Notre Dame Postgame show on the radio. I was like, "Can you turn this shit off, please?" Sorry for my language.
Thank you.
And he goes, "Why?" I said, "I don't want to listen to this crap on the way back to the hotel. Okay, put some music on or some talk radio or something, but I don't want to listen to this garbage." I was not having it, and I was on the field, Danielle, at the 2-minute warning because you're allowed to go on the field. And these Notre Dame fans were making fun of our chop, doing the fake chop, all that garbage. And I just looked at them like, really? at the time, I think Notre Dame wasn't that great at the time. I think they were like, sub 500. Brian Kelley. Did Brian Kelley lose tonight?
Yep, he did, Chris. He first loss under the lights and good old back talk.
I'm sorry for going off track there, Danielle, but you know what James Franklin and Brian Kelley have in common? They can't win big games.
Yeah. We can't win any, so I'm kind of just like, yeah.
It's like, and I will say this, Friday was supposed to have been Bobby Bowden's birthday, and it's like he's rolling in his grave. And I know, Danielle, you have spent some time with the legendary coach Bobby Bowden. So, what was it like to be around him in Tallahassee?
Amazing. It's like going home. Like you could sit on that couch and talk to him forever. But he did raise some very valid points heading into Taggart, even when we did the big interview there. He said, you can have, in so many words, paraphrasing, you can have a 5-star wide receiver, you can have a 5-star quarterback, but do you have the offensive line? Do you have the defense? Do you have everything you need to make them shine? And that's part of the problem we're dealing with right now. I think a lot of people are going to critique quarterbacks, and they're doing this and they're doing that. But I mean, look at your offensive line. I mean, seriously, look how abysmal it is. It is. I can't even remember. I broke through it we had 2 wide receivers lined up in the same area, throws to them. They're basically on the verge of blocking each other. And the Notre Dame guy, runs up and tackles them. Oh my gosh, I'm broken for my program right now. I am.
Yep. We are, Danielle. Yeah.
Well, let's bring in Priscilla in. Priscilla's on the video here, so let's bring her in. Hi, Priscilla. How you doing?
Hi. I'm good.
Howdy.
Tired. Good.
Yeah, it's like yeah. And
watch it
I
again.
don't know. I have no words.
I do. I have quite a few.
All right, go for it, dear.
Choice ones, but I'll try to keep those off the air. As I was preparing to come on here a few minutes ago.
Oh, he just threw an interception. Did he just throw an interception and he's running it all the way back?
Yep.
That's embarrassing. Come on, bud. That is terrible.
Chris, you want to turn the game off?
Yeah, I'm going to turn it off. We're done.
I mean, it's getting to the basketball score. But I was thinking
the basketball team won tonight. The basketball team won.
When my dad played under Nugent, the Nugent boys, and then when he went on to coach under Bill Peterson, and then the Bobby Bowden era. And all the teams, there were good times, there were bad times, there were a lot of good times during the, and I'm just thinking, this is where we are after all of that. Everybody has their off years, sometimes a few in a row, but this is where we are. What is it, 111 now? I lose count at this point. I'm expecting to lose every game because there's no intensity out there. There's no fervor out there. There's no, I don't think, chemistry. And there's no dadgum O-line. Where the hell are they?
Yeah.
The whole night, I was like, where's the O-line? He literally, for a moment there, when that big old guy tackled Luke, I'm like, oh my God, is Luke's back okay? Like, what is going on here with these people? I don't even know if they know what's going on.
Nope.
I'm so upset and disturbed when I think about the money and where it's going right now into certain things. We kind of brought that up last show. And this is what people are paying thousands and thousands of dollars to come see. Fix it. Do something. Yesterday. Beat anyone, as I like to say. Just do something.
Yep.
It's bad. It's really bad. And I don't think you can blame DJ on everything. And he was clearly, that he wasn't the whole problem. So, our defense did try at times. They showed up looking, okay, decent at times, but they can't fix everything.
Right.
You've got to be able to have an O-line protecting the quarterback. You've got to have that chemistry between the quarterback and the tight ends and wide receivers. If you don't have any of that, then you have
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I've seen this week that a lot of players that were committed to Florida State, they decommitted.
Yep.
And it's like, it's probably because of the record, and it's like I've seen like some 4-star players, decommit from Florida State, and it's like, no, these commitments, these high school kids are watching this. It's like, maybe I don't want to go to Florida State. Maybe I want to go somewhere else, yeah, we know about the history of Florida State, but, it's called, I don't want to be on a team that's like this. And it's like, can't really blame them.
Nope. And who wants to pay that kind of money for next year when we are already losing recruits and look at the way we look this year?
Yeah.
To go sit in this brand new stadium, and watch this nonsense. It could be worse.
I wouldn't.
It could be worse next year.
I wouldn't. It's like, it's.
And you're not just paying for
Florida
that.
State softball or Florida State baseball.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Danielle, what do you think? I think they need to stop building things at this stadium and then forget about it. and save the money.
I'm just pissed. I'm pissed. I mean, I went from numb to pissed tonight. And it's not because, like I said, I thought we were going to beat Notre Dame.
Right.
What the fans are upset about right now is the fact that you don't see any changes. No, I'm sorry, but you're 1-9 now, about to be, I guess, or whatever. We have not seen any changes in the staff. We haven't seen any changes in this. We haven't seen, you're still doing the dual quarterback rotation thing. Pick somebody and win or lose and build that. The offensive line issue has been an issue. It has been an issue since the beginning, since Jimbo left. We knew that. We knew that, and we have not freaking fixed it. And I don't understand why people don't get that. Your receivers can't catch anything. Nobody can block anything. And the quarterback is literally running for their life.
Yeah,
it is not hard to fix. You did all this through the portal.
Right.
You got the Keon Colemans, you got the everybody's. Get me offensive linemen, because I'm going to tell you right now, Luke is a dynamic quarterback. I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
But I don't want that kid even playing behind that offensive line right now. I'm scared he's going to get hurt.
He got jumped by that Notre Dame guy, and it looked like his back was over his leg. Or
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I would not let my kid play. I mean, I'm saying this about my own team. But you knew what the problems were, and you haven't fixed them. And here's the thing, little adjustments that could have been made. It's just progressively getting worse every week. You could have already fired somebody by now, made a point, benched people who look like they didn't freaking care. You could have done all of that. And nothing has been done. Yeah. And that's what's going to upset the fan base. Not the freaking loss, but because they are asking for change. And back to Priscilla's point on paying money for stadium upgrades and seats and this and that, and also donating to NIL collectives now, they have every freaking right to demand that. They have absolutely every damn right to ask for that. That is capitalism. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but those are in charge now. You're paying coaches $10 million a year now. You're building all these stadiums. You're doing all these renovations and stuff and upping seat prices. You're paying NIL collectives. You have every right to be pissed off.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like Danielle. I went from, numb to tonight. I got really pissed off.
Same here.
I was furious. I'm like, damn it. I was saying to my son earlier, I'm like, all this money for the stadium for what? To come and look at this nonsense? And it's not just the tickets. Like, my family sat in the same place like many others for decades.
Mhm.
So we're having to deal with this, moving around, maybe not having the same seats next year, all that kind of stuff, to paying, hotel prices out the yin yang, your food, you got all of that. It all adds up. For what?
Yeah.
For what?
Thank you.
Get off your ass and do something about it.
Thank you.
We're tired of hearing that. Oh, well, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I take the blame for. Fix it. Fix it. Do something.
Thank you.
It's the same crap every week.
Yeah.
This is not the Florida State I grew up under.
Same here, Priscilla. It's like
even on our
Hell
bad
no,
years,
they're
it was
on
not.
TV now talking about we're breaking losing records. Before Bobby, I was born the year Bobby Bowden came here. We're before that. We're before that now. We're not even talking about
history for all
76
the wrong
anymore.
reasons.
Thank you. Thank you, Priscilla. That's right.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think I've never seen Florida State like this at all because I was very fortunate when I grew up, with the teams that were dominating during the years that I saw, and like the Cotton Bowl winning that 10-2 over Texas A&M in the rain, in Dallas, and all the bowl games. My first bowl game I watched at Florida State was the Blockbuster Bowl, and it was Bowden versus Joe Pa, and the quarterback was Casey Weldon, and he looked like, and I loved Joe Montana when I was a kid, and the guy looked like Joe Montana with the face, underneath the mask, the helmet. He looked like Montana, like, ooh, he's Montana. And my brother goes, okay. So I started watching Florida State since then. My mom told me one day my room changed from just, my bedroom was pure white to Florida State colors in less than 3 weeks. Everything was all Florida State. My dad made a banner for me, or like "Welcome to Noles Country," on the computer. It was cool. When I was a kid growing up, and now watching this train wreck, it's like I'm looking at the game, going, "I'm so glad I'm not in South Bend today." I was there.
Yeah, I'm kind of. It's like I started watching Florida State football like in the 80s, in the 90s when ABC Sports had regional college football, and you had games from like the ACC, and one game was from the Big Ten and the Pac-10, and it was I remember when Keith Jackson would call Florida State in Florida, or Florida State Miami, or Brett Musburger or Brad Nessler. And college game day, always would come to Tallahassee. We all remember Lee Corso. He loves his Florida State Seminoles. Throughout time, and it's like all the stars that have come through there, and it's like now it's like, do I want to watch Florida State get demolished every week? No, it's like this isn't the Florida State ice team I started watching back in the day, and it's like it's hard to watch nowadays. It's like I
still wore I wore my baseball jersey today, my Seminole baseball jersey to work.
Yeah, it's like Florida. I know Florida State is number one in College World Series in Omaha, but they always had a successful college baseball team led by legendary head coach Mike Martin Sr. And we all know the softball team has done really good down there, and the women's soccer team is advanced once again to play for the ACC's women's soccer championship after penalty kicks versus Wake Forest. It's like Florida State could win another national title in women's soccer. At least it'd be something for the school.
Yeah, that's true. But here's my question is, but we're known for football. We're not known for we're known for football and baseball, but not for women's soccer. No offense to the soccer team or the men's soccer team or golf, or I guess Florida State's going to have like a cross team soon. I guess they're going to be doing that soon, probably. Lacrosse, because I guess women's lacrosse is big now. Because I think Florida has, they have a Florida has a team. So I think it's great, but to me, it's like I would love to see my football team. Like last year was so great. The way we saw them rolling through, and I'm like sitting there, this is pretty cool. I get a chance to go down to Charlotte to see them play for an ACC title, and Adam could actually see it for the first time in his own eyes. And I've seen him before, because I was there with Georgia Tech and Duke, and I was like, wow, this is pretty cool, and now this year it's like, this is how bad it is. I'm rooting for Miami to get to Charlotte because of my brother.
Oh my Lord, no, I will never get to that
No,
level.
my brother's in the hospital, Danielle. My older brother's in the hospital, and he's a Miami guy, and I want him to get better. So if we get approved, I want to bring him down so he could see his team. Because he deserves that. That's my brother. He deserves that. I know he's a Miami guy, and I don't like Miami, but still
that's your brother. That's family.
It's called its family. Yeah.
That's family.
Yeah.
I mean,
I talked to him tonight, and you know what he said to me on the phone? He goes, I guess I don't go to Charlotte. I was like, hold off, big guy. It's still, you don't know what's going on yet, because if Clemson won tonight, right now, as we speak, Virginia's beating Pittsburgh right now. So if Pittsburgh loses, they're out. So Miami's back in. The 3 teams have 3 losses after tonight, if that happens. 1 loss. Because SMU is still undefeated. Yeah. So SMU is now number 1. And you got Miami, Clemson, and that's it. Those 2 are going to battle each other, and who's going to play SMU. So Miami could still sneak in if they win the last 2.
Sure.
Which they probably will. I mean, being honest, it's
entirely
possible.
Yeah,
Georgia Tech can beat Georgia. I mean, Georgia Tech can say they won the ACC Florida Cup. It's in both Florida State and Miami. It's like, and I think Cam Ward's Heisman Trophy took a dip today after losing to Georgia Tech, and Georgia Tech actually took a knee, because we all remember what happened the last time those 2 teams played last year, and it's like Georgia Tech was smart.
Yeah, well. So anyway, and Riley Leonard today was the quarterback for Notre Dame. Did we hurt him last year, or did Notre Dame hurt him before they played Florida State? Because he was not a factor last year against us in Tallahassee. He was terrible. Yeah, because he had a bad shoulder, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So he was.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. So you saw a bad Riley Leonard against when he was with Duke, and then tonight he looked like Steve Young, running around all over the place. Yeah. Sorry, nothing against Steve Young, but I'm just trying to use a quarterback that used to be mobile. Yeah. So anyway, so we're 1 whatever. We're off next week, thank God. Yeah.
Then we play Charleston Southern, and Charleston Southern lost 42-10 today. So it's like, in Charleston Southern's game versus Florida State is their last game of the year. So it's like, maybe we can beat Charleston Southern at home that Saturday. It would be kind of nice.
Oh, you never know.
Do you really think that would appease? Do you really think that's going to appease the fan base at this point, though?
No.
If you pulled that off.
No, they're going to.
I mean, let's be honest.
I mean, it's something. It's something.
Baseball down playing their baseball games, their football ball. Yeah, just go over there and watch baseball. Forget the football team.
Why not? I mean, Florida State has released
basketball won tonight, so there's
that's right.
So but I mean, back to your point, football drives the local economy. Everybody can say it doesn't. It does. It absolutely freaking does.
When I come to Tallahassee at nighttime, when we ride around and I look up and see the stadium and the huge light lit up, football player with the helmet on, that I get chills. That's what I grew up loving. Is I'm devastated. Not only am I pissed off, I'm devastated that this is allowed to happen to us.
Well, and there's not been any change.
No.
It's all talking. I don't want to hear a press conference. I do not want to hear a damn press conference. I don't care. I know, Chris, you're probably going to play it anyway.
No, I'm not going to play it.
But no, I'm saying I don't want to hear that.
I'll give you a press conference.
Where's the accountability for anything, right?
Thank you.
No. Who have we fired? What have we done? Who have we benched for not catching shit? Or doing this or doing that or not blocking? What have we done?
Nothing.
I would rather literally go out there with 4th string if we even have one left.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Adam Fuller hasn't gone yet. And it's like everyone has said, Adam Fuller is one of the problems, and it's like I'm surprised he hasn't been fired yet. It's kind of shocking. It's like,
Yeah,
I don't get it.
okay.
Well,
right now,
I will
4 minutes ago, Pittsburgh, it's still 21-19 Virginia, so Virginia can actually do a big upset if they can hold on here. They have the football 1st and 10 at the 11 of Pitt. So
and how many offside penalties have we had this year? And how many it's
well. Speaking of offside penalty, I want to talk about something. Notre Dame, okay, I want you all to understand this. Notre Dame, when they play at home, they freaking cheat. Thank you.
I knew you were going to say that. This is like that second touchdown they had, right?
Yeah, I came home I got off work early. I came home to watch the game.
Clearly, in my opinion, out.
The guy touched out of bounds, and they go, "No, it wasn't out of bounds. Touchdown."
I saw that. I know which play you're talking about, Chris. Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
I know he's going to score again if they put the ball up to 5. Okay, I know that, but and for our sake, he stepped out of bounds, dude. Yeah, and Notre Dame has done this all the time when they're at home. I've seen it when road teams get there. They cheat. They find a way to make it because they don't want to have their team lose on NBC. So it's like they have to make it look pretty good, but they don't care if it's on ABC because they don't own ABC. They have NBC as their contract, so they want to make them look so good on NBC. So the refs is going, "Oh, that's a touchdown."
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Danielle? Did you see that? I think he stepped out. I was like, "What the heck is this crap?"
My dad definitely saw it. I saw it. A lot of people saw it.
Yeah.
So obvious.
Yeah.
I'm just mad, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like,
you're all good, Danielle.
Hey, we're all
good.
So mad right now.
Anyway,
out of line here, but I think that a lot of us are exhausted. We're just mentally exhausted. We know what's coming. We endure it, and then we're all these different emotions afterwards, and then we go into the next and the next. So we're just tired of this. We're just
I feel bad for Jeff Cohan, the guy who does the the Florida State broadcaster. I've been trying to get him on our show on Monday, but he said he's been busy. I totally understand why you're busy, Jeff. I don't think you really want to talk about this train wreck.
I think he does like a football show on.
Yeah. Well, this week he had the bye week, and I was trying to get him on.
Kelvin supposed to be on tonight? What happened with Kelvin? Is Kelvin coming?
Yeah, I forgot to give him a call. Hold on, let me give him a buzz because I didn't know he was driving, and I was trying to wait for a little bit. Let me get him a call. Hold on.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know if he was going to be.
That's okay. Let me get him on. You guys go ahead and talk.
Fine. I mean, we could talk about the Florida State basketball team. I mean, they actually won in Houston tonight against Rice. I mean, it's something. I mean, we'll see what Leonard Hamilton does this year down there. I will say this, since you're here, Danielle, it was really cool that you finally got to meet your role model. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, you're probably still on cloud 9 for meeting your role model. Am I right, Danielle?
Absolutely. And not only was she like on the Weather Channel that I watched on TV all the time growing up, and now, over the radio department, she is a former marching chief, FSU alum. She's everything. She is definitely a mentor to me in every aspect of life. We've been friends for 24 years, like I explained, but I finally got to meet her in person. So that was everything. That last night was wonderful.
One of these times I'm going to meet you and Priscilla in person, and we're all going to go out to dinner, the three of us and Chris, and just talk Florida State football and, and just, enjoy it. Since I want to make that happen next year. So hopefully we can make that happen next year since hopefully we can. Chris, I think you have a special guest, right?
Yes, we have Kevin. Kevin's on here. Kevin Smith, who from Florida State. So he's on. Let me bring him in here. Hey, Kevin, thank you for joining us tonight here on the program. So 52-3 is the final score, and not the great score that we were looking for. But what did you see? Did you see any bright spots with the team tonight? Besides, that we ran the ball pretty good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thank you, man, for having me on. But I did watch some of the game. I didn't watch the entire game, but I watched the first half and a little bit of the second half.
Yeah.
But the biggest word that comes to me is just frustration, and I don't understand why. Why we're not performing up to par, but we're just not, and it's a problem somewhere.
Right.
I don't know if it's. It just seems though every game we getting out coached.
Yeah.
We don't have a trigger man. We don't have a quarterback that can take control of that offense and take control of that team.
Right.
Why I don't know, but we obviously do not have that. And I don't understand why this team is not playing with any more urgency. You would think with the record that they have, they would be playing with a little bit more urgency at this particular point, especially because the seat's getting hot.
Right.
And if coach has the attention of the team that he should, they should be actually playing for him. Playing for each other, but playing for him to save his job, because I think it's getting hot. Yes, we went 13-0, but we lost that last game to Georgia. I think that game told me it's starting to say a lot about our team. I think we got exposed, even though a lot of players didn't play, but we still got exposed, I think, to where since then we haven't been playing well at all, but everybody's been playing well against us. So I don't know if that's coaching. I don't know if that's players, it's personnel, but something has to be fixed. And it seems like everybody has a number now. Why? I don't know how. It seems like everybody's figured this out.
Right. I agree with you.
And why have they figured us out? Are we that some? Are we simple? Is our offense not complicated enough? That people are preparing for us a lot. It's like they're passing the cheat sheet around each team,
right?
And everybody's understanding how to stop us. Everybody's understanding how to be successful against us defensively.
I totally agree with you. I agree with
you. That's just what I see. It's got to the point, man, where you gotta kind of figure out how far we're gonna go with this.
Yeah, that's true. And you're losing recruits too. Left and right.
You're losing recruits. That's why are we not 2 and 3 and 4 deep? Is our recruiting not going well? The past few years, I thought it was. With building the not the part on the stadium, but at least the practice. Aren't they doing something with the practice facility, building an indoor practice facility and practice fields? So, we compete with anybody in the country. So recruiting shouldn't be an issue.
Right. I agree. And it's funny, every week you see during practice, you see, Mike Noel running to practice. Why are you running, dude? You're 1-9. Just take a nice slow walk.
He's still young.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, dude, we're 1-9. Come on, just take a slow walk, dude.
Too over exuberant for somebody who, humble yourself a little bit at this point.
Yeah. Like, I don't run the work full time.
He's running because he knows what that buyout is.
Right.
So, he can still run right now because it's a fat buyout for him to get rid of him. So,
that's true.
I'll be running too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree.
I'll be running the practice, but it's. I didn't get a chance to hear what everybody else had to say about it, but it was, it's pretty disgusting for me to watch. So I don't watch it. When it gets to that point, I just turn it off.
You're like me with Met games. When the Mets get down by 4 runs in the 8th inning, I'm like, turn it off. And then all of a sudden I have this funny feeling in my head going, are they going to score some runs?
Yeah. I don't know this team.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is not the FSU that I know.
Right. Exactly. And you were part of the days of Deion Sanders, and you were on that team, and right
Absolutely.
now. Yeah, and I feel like what is Dion thinking right now? I know he's in Colorado and his team's going to a bowl game, but he's seeing his alma mater look like a Swiss cheese on NBC. He must be like, ew, what the hell's going on down there? Yeah,
he's probably grinning a little bit, and he might be gloating a little bit, but that's just him. But I can, and I can understand why. So he's getting a lot of backlash. A lot of stuff that I'm reading, a lot of people just don't see Dion the same way anymore.
Right.
Which I can understand. I mean, he's just doing what he's being called to do, and whether it was at Florida State or whether it's going to be at Jackson State or whether it's going to be in Texas at a high school, he was going to continue to do what he does.
Right.
So that's just the type of guy he is. He's just going to be successful. He's going to surround himself with the right people to be successful.
Mm-hmm. That's
so,
right. Yeah.
Has the issue is has Coach Norvell surrounded himself with the right people to be successful?
That's a good question. Yeah, I feel like something's going on. I think, like you said earlier, everybody has a blueprint now of what we're doing. Did Georgia expose us?
Everybody.
In
Boston College, man. Everybody.
Yeah. Is Mike's offense so easy that everybody knows what he's doing? Then you need to revamp yourself, dude, and take.
I don't know. Is it his offense or is it Alex's offense?
I don't know. Who
That's the $1 million question. Sorry.
I was wondering
Hey,
that
Kelvin,
too.
it's Danielle Kelley. I'm on here too. I'm sorry. That's the $1 million question.
How you doing, Danielle?
I'm good. How are you? I'm hanging in there.
Doing great.
I'm glad you're on here because I love listening to former players. Everybody knows my story. My dad was one of Bobby Bowden's FHP escorts, so I grew up on that field around a lot of you, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And it just I hate to hear though, when I hear y'all talk and I hear, this isn't the FSU we're used to. And that bothers me. It really bothers me. And that's the $1 million question about offense. Who is really running it? Are we doing the same thing we did before? Is it it's got to be something different.
When I was coming up, we were just they had already basically put in the work. They just brought in the talent now to go ahead and take it over the top because in '87 we were 11-1. In '88, we came in as the number one team in the country and lost the first game to Miami down in Miami.
Right.
Which was a big hype game, but then we ran off 11 straight. But in '89, we started off the season, we lost 2 games. We lost to Southern Miss and we lost to Clemson back to back, the first 2 games of the season. So, but then we ran off 10 straight.
Right.
So, we knew how to bounce back. One loss back then hurt us because it kept us from being national champions 2 years. And
Facts. There was no playoff
we
system.
should have won national championship, but we lost because of that loss to Miami.
Right.
87, we lost. Probably could have tied up the game, but we went for 2 and tried to hit Pat Carter in the corner of the end zone. They knocked it down. So that's the game we lost in '87. They outright just beat us.
Right.
They beat us down. We was a little too cocky into that game. And we got the Orange Bowl curse. And then in '89, I hear you talking about Casey Weldon, but Casey came in with my class. My class came in. We had 2 quarterbacks in my class that came in. That was Casey Weldon and Brad Johnson.
Okay.
So, neither one of them, it took them 3 or 4 years to get on the field.
Wow.
So freshman quarterbacks was unheard of playing back then.
And you had,
because they always kept some veteran quarterbacks that they already groomed. So who's coaching the quarterbacks now? I think about that. Who's the quarterback coach now? Who's coaching the who's grooming these quarterbacks? Because we should have quarterbacks that are groomed coming through the program.
Right.
If we're gonna spend money on a quarterback like we spent on DJ, you got to hit it. You got to hit the jackpot. You can't be gambling like that. And we took a gamble and we lost.
Mm-hmm. That's true. And and nobody realized. I think in '89, I was looking at the roster. You had some guy named Charlie Ward as a punter.
Charlie Ward was the punter, exactly. He was the scout team quarterback, so
he was
we
the
were
punter
running around chasing him every day. So which got us better.
Yeah. So you had quarterbacks in waiting. You had Casey.
Yeah, quarterbacks in waiting, exactly. You had Casey, you had Charlie, and you had Brad.
Right. And then
was that the game if I remember right?
Well, was that the game we opened up strong with Dexter Carter? Off the bat.
Miami?
Yeah.
No, the one.
Well, Dexter Carter put the flag on top of the guy's
head. That's still my favorite game. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
That was my game in Tallahassee.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool.
And then you lost it, and you were talking about the '89 team because the first game of the year you lost some guy named Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Yeah.
We played that game in Jacksonville.
Right. Yeah. Brett Favre. Man, like they didn't even know how to say his name when they drafted him. Brett Favre.
He heard us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he heard us.
Exactly.
And I can say this, Brad Johnson is from Western North Carolina, where I live, Kelvin. And it's like I think he still lives around here in Western North Carolina. And it's like, right? Yeah, it's called. And I remember when he was at Florida State, and he was a really good high school quarterback up here in the Smoky Mountains as well. And it's like, and you were on the same field as some guy named Terrell Buckley, if I remember right, and
I played with some good quarterbacks.
Yeah, and
Buckley was young. He's younger than me, so yes, I played with him in '89.
Nice.
So he was a freshman. So I had some good quarterbacks I played with. But going back to playing with Dion, ultimate team player, and had the work ethic back then. That's what made him great because he had a great work ethic.
Right.
At the end of practice when we all running gases and running sprints and doing things, he's always up front. So that's one thing I've always admired about him was the fact that he led the practice. He showed us by example. He didn't just talk about it; he did it.
Right.
So I don't see any. Maybe I'm not as familiar with this class of kids that they have now, but I'm just not seeing that superstar. I don't understand why we don't have a superstar on the team or in waiting.
Right. Well, here's the thing I was looking at. This is '89. The offensive scheme, guys, was a no huddle spread. We don't do that anymore.
Absolutely not.
No. Now it's like you huddle every 5 minutes. Like when I was a kid growing up, Kevin, when I was growing up watching you guys on TV, I remember every time Charlie Ward or whoever was in the shotgun and Ward gun was right next to him. And Charlie Ward lifts the right leg, and Ward gun knows to get in motion. And that shotgun helps people who are terrible, extra time to throw. And I tell people, how to just put him in shotgun and he'll learn how to get the ball off. Don't put him in underneath center. If you can't if you can't hike the ball and you don't know how to do it on the center, just be in shotgun all the time. It's okay. It gets you a couple more minutes.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it is right, but here's another issue: is we're trying to do this dual rotate quarterback thing.
Clint Ruski at Clemson in 1988.
Right.
We started practicing that in '87.
Wow.
So Coach Bowden really, he was a brilliant mind, and I learned a lot from him just playing for him. But I've learned a lot from him. I learned a lot of things from him and Coach Andrews. But we started working on that thing in '87, and he knew exactly when he wanted to run it in '88.
Right.
And ran it to perfection.
Jeez.
So I just don't see none. We're lacking somewhere, and I think I don't know if he's gonna have to do some reconstruction with his coaching staff, or they're gonna give him another chance to do some reconstruction with his coaching staff, or they're gonna have to get somebody in here that's gonna get this train back rolling.
Right. Well, here's the thing.
I'm missing out on some stuff. For us not to be in the playoff hunt is an issue.
Right. I agree with you. And here's
That
the
is
thing.
an issue, man. That should be a game. We should be in the playoff hunt, guaranteed. No matter what.
Right.
Well, especially with the number of teams they're letting in now.
Right. Oh, I agree. But here's the thing. I was talking to my brother Will, and my older brother's in the hospital. He's a Miami fan. Don't get me wrong. I don't like Miami. We don't like Miami here. But him and I were talking on the phone the other day, and he goes, "Well, Mike is not going to get fired this year. If he still continues doing this next year, and like in Game 5 or Game 6, he'll be gone.
He's gone.
Yeah.
See, how much time does he get now? See,
yeah.
How many years has he been there? Has it been 5?
It's been 5 years, Kelvin. Yeah. It's
5 years.
I see that's entirely too long now. See, you done gave him 5. Now you're saying I can comfortably give him 2 more. That to me, that's something is foul about that. And I don't understand why.
Right.
He's getting these extra opportunities to do this, because I don't care if you went 13-0. It does not matter. You didn't finish the season off the correct way in my eyes.
Right.
So that 13-0 thing, stop saying that, because that's not the way it happened.
No.
And if you had a trigger man, Travis, you had a legitimate trigger man, and losing him, you lost a lot with that offense. He didn't have a good backup quarterback last year either.
Yeah, that's true. They always had somebody backup who knew how to run the offense, no matter what it was. Like if you see through the years, right? If you look at it,
you got to be able to move the offense. You can't just come in there and just be a backup and not be able to move the offense. You still got to continue to move the offense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be a package. It's got to be a package separately for that particular quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I remember growing up, as Florida State, you always had Charlie Ward, and then you had, throughout the years, and then you had, Weatherford was one of them, and then you had Crispin Ponder, was one of the quarterbacks. He did pretty good.
Then Winky came in.
Yeah, Winky came in, and then Ponder went to the NFL, with the Vikings.
Yeah, Chris Rich was there too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So now it's like
we kept quarterbacks. That's why I understand why don't we have a better backup quality quarterbacks right now. See, that's going to be a problem. Who is the quarterback of the future? That's the question.
Right.
I don't see the one on this roster right now that's going to lead this team to a national championship.
Yeah, they got to find somebody. They got to go through.
Do you think he's on that roster now?
No, I don't see him. I don't see anybody on this roster. I think next year or right now, like Danielle and Priscilla and Anna and I always talk on the show. Just put the freshmen in and let them play. Let them learn.
Let them learn. You might as well.
Yeah.
Why? What you got to lose?
Yeah, and run the option for a while. Yeah, nobody really cares. Yeah,
If the older guys who are this NIL stuff are just going to go out there and just not do what they're supposed to do, then to just let the youngest in.
Yeah. Let them go play with the sports cars and tell them
to create chemistry amongst one another, and then grow them up, because this is ridiculous.
Exactly.
Why don't they have chemistry? That's what I'm questioning. What's missing? What are they not doing?
They don't have a leader. That's the problem, Kevin. They don't have a leader on the defense.
The chemistry.
They don't have that
last year.
Personality. If you think back at a lot of the FSU teams throughout the years, you can almost always pick out that one person who had that personality who drew everybody in together. Almost always, whether it was Jameis or Ward or whoever. There was almost always.
I'm gonna tell you the trick. I'm gonna tell you the trick to all of that. What created the team chemistry for us and for all those teams back then was something that they call the mat drills.
Okay.
and those mat drills are something that created a lot of team chemistry.
Yeah.
So they're probably not doing it now. I'm not sure, but it's definitely not to the way that we did it. It was I can't even explain it to you, but mat drills is what helped out with our team chemistry.
Yeah, and I
Because
know
y'all were all going through something really, really rough, right,
You gotta
Kelvin?
do something tough. Yeah, you gotta do something. You gotta go through something tough together.
right.
They
You know,
literally had
camaraderie.
trash cans for them. They literally had trash cans for them to throw up in. It was that intense. And Coach Andrews did not play. And James Coleman and I used to do a show, and our theme was always bring back mat drills. Now you have the tour of duty. It's still not the same. I don't think the NCAA would let you, being honest, go through the level of what y'all went through. A mat drill, guys, if y'all don't understand what a mat drill is, let me tell you.
Is it almost like
It-
suicides? It's almost like suicides, like like a basketball court. You run all the way down, back and forth. And
well, we were first year we were in the athletic center.
Okay.
But we were in like the gym, and on the gym it's another room, another attached room to the gym. They put this big mat out on the floor.
Okay.
And that's where the mat drills come in at, because they're putting like the whole floor is coming with like a wrestling mat.
Okay.
Like one of those thick wrestling mats type thing. So that's where it all starts at. So that's the mat room. And you leave the mat room, then you go to the gym, and then you go through some things in the gym. And then when you leave the gym, you go outside, and you're doing underneath the stadium, and you're doing some things out there. So, it's just something that also, when I might be giving out too many secrets, but it doesn't matter. But when your group went, when it was time for your group to go, if it was one person in that group that was slacking, the whole group suffered.
Oh wow!
So that got it to the point to where no one wanted to be that person. Mm-hmm. So when you got a team full of guys that don't want to be that guy, that don't want to be that person, then you got you something. So that built a lot of our team camaraderie and why we played for each other.
Yeah. Well, we don't see that. We don't see that on the defense either, because I know last year Jared Versa was the leader.
Jared Versa was the leader. Day, it was like running the stadium, things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's terrible, man.
Yeah. You don't see that. Maybe they're too easy on them. I mean, you don't see. They're not. It's like when people go through boot camp, and they're helping one another over the wall, and they're all trying to or you see people running the race in the Olympics, and somebody falls and they pick up their teammate because they'd rather help them than win.
You ask any of them 80s guys about mat drills, and they're gonna tell you the same thing I tell you. And when you just the word saying it, just saying the word around them is gonna change the expression on their face.
Right. I understand that.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's that type of toughness. So
you know what strikes me as odd too, is that a year or so ago, I kind of got the feeling that people knew that Norvell did not put up with crap. If you didn't like it here, if you weren't a fit, he was going to tell you and you were out. And I just don't feel that same energy anymore.
Same here.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with you on that one. I don't see the energy too. Like, it seems like to me, like we saw Kevin, we saw him. Adam and I saw him at the ACC kickoff with the media, and different what Mike looked like last year. This time in 2024 or 23, he was so excited. He was talking to everybody. I saw him. We saw him the day before walking up the streets of Charlotte with Jordan Travis and all that. And they were going to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse as
that's right.
And I made a joke to him the next morning. I said, "So, Coach, who covered that meal last night?" And he looked at me and goes, "No comment."
No, I remember that, Chris. I remember that. Yeah.
And I was having fun with him because him and I were joking around all day. And then we saw him this year, and he wanted to go home. It was like his face was like, "Why am I in Charlotte? Can I get the plane to go back to Tallahassee? I got things to do." And it was like he was short with us. He was short with everybody else.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, what the hell's wrong with him? Yeah, I know. And I asked him a question in the press conference in the breakout room. I said, "What did you learn from the Orange Bowl?" what did you learn from that whole situation? He gave me this 2-minute, 3-minute, interview that he was like, well, I learned that all these players that we have that it could help us this year. Well, what players did you find out it was helping, dude? Because these people are not working.
Because we'd like to know. We'd like to know because it's like I don't know where they are. I don't know if they're like in a cave or like bush or.
Or they went to Colorado.
Where's Waldo?
Listen, that Florida State job is too big for a lot of people.
Right.
I think they underestimate the job. I think Norvell was. I don't think he was ready for the Florida State job. I really don't. Just coming from Memphis, just doing what he done, I don't think he was ready for that Florida State. Florida State job was a big job.
Well, Bobby Bowden made it that way.
It's a huge job, man, a great opportunity. But I don't understand why we don't ever go after that home run guy.
Right.
I was thinking tonight.
I mean, as a coach,
before I even saw who was winning the
why
game.
we not going after the hottest coach out there?
You know who I was thinking of before I even saw that they were winning?
Yeah.
Is Lane Kiffin is with Ole Miss, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I was thinking Lane Kiffin, and then we turned on. My dad turned the channel, and Ole Miss was beating Georgia. I'm like, yes, because I don't hate Georgia or anything, but I'm just tired of seeing them winning. So I was happy for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I see Lane Kiffin as a better fit at Florida than at Florida State.
Yeah.
So Kelvin, who do you think would be a good fit?
Grimy guy. I like the guy out of Indiana.
Oh yeah, the guy from JMU.
Came from JMU, exactly. Yeah. He comes from under the Saban tree.
Right. And Kevin, I met him I also covered the CA here, okay, with Towson in Delaware. And I met him the first time, Kurt Sigonelli, when he was with Elon. And I was like, okay, who's this guy? And I sat down with him. And he was like stoned, like telling me, like, all right, I'm Kurt, and I'm going to be running the offense like this, senior. And I'm like, oh my God, who's this? No offense, jerk from who's going to be? I was like, he's not going to survive Elon. And then also, like 4 years later, he goes to JMU, and I have a house down in McCackensville, Virginia, with my parents. And sometimes we go down there, and I go to some of the JMU games. And I got to know him on the conference calls, and he was the nicest guy to me all the time. And when I saw him now with Indiana, I'm pulling for him. I'm like, dude, you can do this. And today he beat Michigan. I'm like, good job, big guy. Yeah.
He's gonna get another bigger job. That's what I mean. See, he's like one of those guys they're the ones that you need to go. You need to throw the house at and try to get them because they got a track record of winning everywhere he's been. Yeah. He got a track record of winning.
Right. Exactly.
So, you got to get some guys in that's going to win and knows how to win and get the right people in there and the right.
And you want somebody who's not related to the program.
If you don't do that, man, that's the quickest way for us to everything that's been worked for at that school just to get lost.
Mm-hmm. And I think
why you got all this new stuff coming up, man, and you losing like this?
Right. And I think Kurt will be a good fit down there because Kurt has that Nick Saban mentality.
He's got that grit.
Yeah, and he knows how to play. He's always the underdog. Even at JMU, but he didn't get to. He won a national title, back-to-back chances against North Dakota.
Exactly.
And he's 10-0.
And Kelvin, do we not look ridiculous, like doing what we're doing to the stadium, and then our team is like, what the hell?
Why are we doing that? Because we're losing. I'm trying to figure out why. What's the?
It's not if we build it, they will come. It's not like that. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Who we trying to keep up with? Who we trying to impress? We ain't impressing nobody on the field. So what are we trying to dress it up?
Yeah, that's true. I agree. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go because I know you had a long night. But thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, I would love to get you on Monday. We do a show not this Monday, but the following Monday if you're available. We'd love to get you on.
Just hit me up. I'm always available.
All right, cool. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, big guy.
Appreciate it.
All right, see you. Bye.
That's fun, Chris.
Yeah. I didn't want to keep him long because he sounded like I woke him up when I called him. I was like, did you fall asleep? He goes, no, I'm ready to go. I'm like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. It's like, why do we need upgrades to Doak Campbell Stadium? It's because I liked it the way it was. It's like,
they kept saying that, we're just band-aiding the problem every year. Well, maybe they could have done a little bit better than that, but work on the team.
Right.
Yeah, I'll agree, Priscilla. Yeah.
Well, I do have an update up in Pittsburgh. Virginia won.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Pittsburgh's done. They're not even in the ACC, category now for the championship. So it's between Miami and Clemson again.
Okay.
God.
Against Miami versus Clemson. Miami and Clemson against SMU. SMU had a week off, but they play Boston College next week. So Boston College beat Syracuse today. So that might be a little tricky there, So anyway. So Danielle, what do you think about having Kelvin on? I think it was great to hear him, really tell us what, I think I agree with him. I think they need to go after the Indiana guy and say, hey, come to Tallahassee. We'll give you whatever you want, sir. Even if you want a new house, we'll get you a new house. I don't care. We'll get you here. Yeah.
That's an era of players that I love to hear from. Probably why I'm so close with so many of them. They know, like the fact that he brought up mat drills. I just shut up.
That was great.
Because because that's literally what it takes. Like I said, I don't think the NCAA would let you get away with it anymore. Because it is that strenuous. But at the same time, they know what it takes. And I mean, it's just confusing to me in total. Mike Norvell has embraced the former players. He is absolutely, and honestly, Taggart did to a degree. But it's I don't know, guys. I'm really speechless tonight. I don't know. I really, I love everything he said because it is. Every single season he talked about losing the first two games, Clemson and Southern Miss, and then, going on to win this and that. There was always a bounce back. That's what he said. That really struck me. We don't have that.
No.
We are light years from that. There is no bounce back with this right now. I mean, and not unless you start making major changes quickly. And here's the bad thing. If you're not making the smaller changes now, you're putting yourselves in a position at the time of renovation, seat upgrades, this, that, blah, 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 to have to do a 70 billion, 70 feels like it, $70 million buyout.
Yeah.
That's
so
true.
Do you guys want to watch what Mike's saying? I don't think so. It's the same crap all the time.
No, I don't want to watch it, Chris. No.
Yeah, it's the same crap.
You can play it if you want to. It's just gonna be.
I don't want to hear it, Chris. No, it's because
I'm
the same stuff we heard last week.
Same crap. Same crap. So, well, let's just wrap it up here. So next week we're off. November 23rd, we got Charleston Southern going in. So I guess that'll probably coming in. That'll be on by the ACC network at 12 noon probably.
Sure, the day before my birthday. So it's like maybe Florida State can win for me for my birthday. I'm taking.
I'm right with you. Mine's the 21st.
That's right. That's right. It's because I forgot yours.
Yeah, I'm right with you. So
3 days before mine. That's right.
We'll have a birthday celebration.
Guess it's like we can sell. Maybe Florida State could win for the both of us, Danielle. I think we take that, wouldn't we, dear?
Absolutely would take that. I just don't think I don't think there's anything, and that's the harder question right now that you're gonna do. Like I said in the beginning of the show, that you're gonna do to appease the fan base right now.
Yeah, it's
exactly. So.
And they're the ones donating. They're the ones, like I said, we're in a different day and age now. You're paying for NIL. You're paying for a lot of things, and they're mad, and they have every right to be.
Oh yeah, they should be. They should be. Because you're spending all this money for a new stadium, to upgrade a stadium, and that trash you see on NBC, that was worse than Saturday Night Live.
I was watching. That
was terrible. I feel bad for NBC having that game on. At the time in the summer, they're like, "Oh, this could be a top 10 matchup," and today's like 1-8 Florida State against 7-1 Notre Dame. Like, who's going to tune into that garbage? I
was trying.
That was going to be the game of the week. That when they put the schedule out during the summer, I was like, "Oh, it's 7:30 on November 9th. Okay, that's good, prime time." And then I forgot it was Alabama and LSU.
I was watching that too. I was watching Alabama and LSU.
Yeah. So. And
it's like, I will say this. It's called, I will say that when on ESPN College Game Day, when they, when they did that tribute to Kirk Herbstreit's dog, Ben, who passed away from cancer, it's like, when Kirk, I understand where Kirk is going through. I lost when I lived in New Hampshire, I lost a dog named Ebony, and she was a black lab, and it's like I understand, and it's like seeing that from Kirk, and it's like it's like a piece of you, a loved one is gone. It's like when I saw
I had a dog
this morning, I was like, I was crying inside. I was like, I understand what you're going through, Kirk. It's like, it's like
I had a dog. Her name was Honey, and I took care of her when my parents went to Florida, and she got sick, and I somehow kept her from passing away. And I remember going to work in the afternoon, and my mom called me and said we had to put her down. And I still remember where I was. I ran out of the building crying like a baby. That was my dog. And I still think about my dog. Because she loved watching baseball games with me. I was sitting there watching Met games, and she sat there and watched games with me. Now I have a dog. My parents have a dog named Thor, and I call him Mr. T. Because it sounds better.
Animals are, when you've had an animal
for your life, and
it's like,
it's hard. And I remember that weekend, I was supposed to cover a football game, and I right away called the guy up in Villanova, and I said, I'm not coming. My dog passed away. And he goes, just take your time. I totally understand. I'm sorry for your loss. And I shut down the whole weekend. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I was just sitting at my brother's house waiting for my dog to come back home.
Yeah.
And she never came back home. But she's in the bed. Sad thing is, my dad put the dog in the backyard. I'm like, why did you put the dog in the backyard? He goes, well, so you can go back there and talk to her. So I went back there a couple of times and sat there and talked. And then now I still see her when I go to my parents' house. I'm like, oh, there she is. Hey, how you doing? Sorry, got a little emotional there. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm emotional on the subject too. My father lost his this morning, so yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on a late night again. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys very much. I think we had our therapy session after
we have therapy session again tonight, folks.
Tough week of stuff around here. So hopefully next week will be a better week for everybody.
I don't feel very therapeutic right now. I don't know. I'm just in a different mood tonight. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Same here, Danielle. Yeah. It's like
maybe when we get a win next week, it might be a little bit feeling better.
You mean Chris? Not next week. You mean 2 weeks?
Or in the following week? Yeah.
Hey, we got to you win next week because it's bye.
Thank you. At least we win something. So we win.
There's but I will say this: if they lose to Charleston Southern, oh my goodness, yeah.
Exactly.
They could put that. They could put the Charleston Southern game on like ACC Network Extra, so it's so it's not like on me. If you want to watch it online, yes, we don't have to see it on TV because.
Florida State's still a pool that no matter what, if we're 1-9 or 1-8, it's still.
I know, but
like Alabama, it's still a name. It's not like it's.
I know that, Chris, and it's. Why we can't? Have to get on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon. And that's the Florida State game. Will be on Nickelodeon. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's called. Florida is sticking with their head coach next year.
Yeah. Guys, thank you for joining us tonight, and thanks for watching. We'll be back here. Adam and I will be back here Monday night for our weekly sports talk with Chris Heidel. We got Danielle Wilcox, former Raven, coming on because it's Raven Steelers week around here. So everybody here in Baltimore is all fired up for Steeler week. So it's like, great. We'll just do that. We'll do better, and we'll have basketball and all that stuff. But Danielle and Priscilla, thanks for joining us tonight. And
thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Adam, I'll see you on Monday.
Sure.
Thanks for watching, and we'll have a great night.
Bye, guys.
Bye, good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
All right, guys. So, folks, thanks for watching.
Yep. Yeah, thanks for watching.
For watching. Yeah. Hold on. I got to put that up there. Watching. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a good night.
Mhm.